This video is for the donors, members, and supporters of Atheists United. As you know, you make our organization possible. We do not have a lot of grants. There are not atheist grants out in the world. And so Atheists United relies almost solely on the support of individual donors. And I was just looking through our database, it's mostly small donors. Our median donation size is $26. That's the average donation, the median, excuse me, you're all science-minded folks, the median donation to Atheists United. And that's great. It's wonderful to be run with a bunch of small donations. It makes us a much more sustainable organization. And I can tell you over the past 6 years, we have been growing our small donor base incredibly. We now have 18% of our donations coming from recurring donors. This is vital to an organization our size and makes us much more sustainable long term. But we have huge challenges to reach the goals we have as an organization. Since we hired full-time staff, myself, in 2019, we have been running a budget deficit. Now, this was strategically decided by the board of directors at the time. There was a large donation that came in the form of a bequest, and because of that, it gave us this huge runway. With that money, they hired their first full-time staff member. And the idea was with that staff member, we could increase the amount of events and programs we have. We could recruit a young, vibrant, new generation of leaders to our organization, and we could bring in new donors, new donations, new funding sources, and ideally suddenly be an organization that's sustainable at a size we had never seen before. We've accomplished all of that. We have more members than at any time in the past 6 years. We're almost at 300 members if we keep up current trends. We have more donors than we have, and we're getting new donors. Our acquisition of new donors is incredible, especially the past few years with some new programs. Our new programs have been bringing in a younger, more diverse demographic, which separates us from most atheist and humanist organizations in the United States today. We have a thriving community. We have new, exciting programs. We have energy and momentum like very few organizations. But we don't have major gifts and we don't have major grants. And so we're still behind on our overall fundraising goals. I need your help. I need your help to make up this deficit, to get us to be a $150,000 organization consistently. This can't be something that we strive for. This is something we need to hit if we want to keep up with the amount of events we're hosting. We started hosting larger events like our parties, right? The Heretic House Party, the Beach Party, the Rooftop Halloween Party in Hollywood. These are major expenses to the organization. And while the Halloween Party has also been a new income source, we've been able to find new donors and recruit new people to the organization and raise money for programs like our food distribution. Our food distribution is also a new program that got popped up in 2020 during the pandemic and is now both a great fundraiser and a great expense. Running this organization costs money. I don't think a lot of nonprofits are fully honest with you. I think they like to tell you that everything goes to program, but they forget to tell you that it is the salary of the staff that is the cost of those programs most of the time. We're a service organization. We plan events. We plan advocacy actions. But there's a human being that has to plan all of those. And the salary time for that person is what you're paying for. It's the professional service that the organization is able to offer. Atheists United, we're now hosting sometimes 20 events a month. This makes us the largest atheist community in America by far. But to sustain that, we have to continue to raise more money. We need a few of you listening to this message to suddenly give thousands of dollars a year rather than hundreds of dollars per year. I would like to meet with you. I would like to take you to lunch. I'd like to take you to dinner. I'd like to talk to you about the vision we have for Atheists United. This is an invite for you to speak directly with leadership about what we are planning. And this is really a crucial time for that. 2025 is not going to be like past years. We have learned a lot over the past 6 years about how to recruit a young, diverse community. We've learned a lot about how to organize more mutual aid programs like our food distribution. We've learned a lot about how to build a more sustainable advocacy program than we had in the past. But we have to reassess a lot going into 2025 because we're not sure what's going to come from the Trump administration. We have some sense. We have Project 2025. We have learned a lot about the large-scale things that they're going to do, but we don't know the speed in which they're going to do it, the success rate they're going to have, and the scale of impact that those things are going to have on our community. I can tell you that Atheists United is planning two major strategic decisions in response to the Trump administration. First and foremost, we need to do more mutual aid. We are still figuring out exactly what that looks like, but we need to be more present in the lives of atheists locally. We need to be there for them in times of crisis. There is a possibility that a major earthquake hits Los Angeles and the federal government does not send funds. FEMA is blocked from working with California, and communities like ours could be the difference between whether our community members find safety or not. There is a situation where the Department of Education is gutted, and we have to pressure California to keep schools secular, to not allow voucher programs be one of the solutions they look for as they struggle to find funding for education. There is a situation where other federal programs from the EPA to the post office start getting destroyed, and our community has expenses like they've never seen before, and we need to support people as they lose jobs or they get targeted by immigration authorities. That's what mutual aid is. It is being there for your community in times of need. And we have to do that. There's no choice. Us and other communities like ours are all orienting ourselves so that we can be there in this time of need. At the same time, the atheist community is not like other communities. We are small politically. We do not have the same footprint and the same power that most communities do yet. And the way we're going to change that, rather than the traditional slow political approach that we were doing for the past 6 years and the past 15 years before that nationally, was hoping that the liberal democracy would work us in this positive direction. As our numbers grew, we would work the political system and join it, and everything would be okay. We don't have time for that anymore. There's a chance that when these immigration fights happen, they target atheists as un-American during those immigration fights. As they target federal employees for firing, they might target those that aren't religious. We have to address our community's needs at a political scale quicker than we've been doing in the past. And there's a few ways we can do that. First and foremost, we have to be active in coalitions. We have to be so loud and so proud that people have to pay attention to our issues, to our identity, and to our community's needs. If we do not exist and have allies in that fight, we can be wiped off the map. We can be targeted. We can be put on lists. I understand these are worst case scenarios, and it is very fearful to talk about those. And I don't want us to lose hope. I don't want to just talk about the things that are sad and scary. I want to talk about the exciting things we've accomplished and the exciting things we want to do. But we have to address the reality of the situation. The Trump administration is oligarchical, probably, but it also has fascistic tendencies in the policies and plans that they laid out in 2025. We have to be prepared for the worst and hope for the best. And so I need your help. I need to be able to go to Sacramento a few times a year to join these coalitions, to get our elected officials to know who the atheist community is. They need to put a face to the community, and they need to be able to communicate with that community in times of need. We need to be attending national conferences so that we know what is happening at the national level, and we can interpret that, process that, and put it into work at the local level. At the same time, we have to support our chapters, our meetup network, and all of our local programs to make sure our community does not get targeted, right? The mutual aid needs that they have, along with the political needs that we have, are complex, and we need to be there for people. We can't stop doing our social events because that's how they find each other. That's how they get involved in our community, and that's how we can convert them into political activists. And at the same time, the need to not be alone in moments like this, the need to recharge during these political fights, the need to find a home in a world that is aggressive to your very identity and beliefs is valuable in and of itself. Atheists United is a critical organization to the fabric of America, to the fabric of Los Angeles. It has become my home. I'm sorry. I really just, I can't tell you enough how important this is. There are members in our community who do not have family they can rely on. It's us. If they wind up in the hospital, if they have kids and need a place to go, it is our community. and we have to be there for them. We would like to raise another $25,000 at the end of this year. We have a few weeks to do it. We can go into January raising that money, but that is our goal. For us to meet our budget needs going into 2025, we need another 25,000, and we need to get our membership up to about 300 people. This doesn't solve all of our financial problems long term. We are going to continue to need to grow. But if we're going to look for the grants and the major donors that can maybe sustain us over the next 10 years, we need your help in the short term. This is a community only when we come together. And part of that, as frustrating as it is raising money. So please consider a donation. Please consider upping your membership. Please consider bringing your friends into this community and helping us grow our impact in America. Thank you for your time.